Okay, what is up? What is up, people? Welcome back to another stream, or the same stream, just extended. Hope everyone is doing good. Yeah, I'll just go through the pairs I'm looking to trade. If you guys are looking at any pairs or getting into any trades or whatever, feel free to leave it down in the chat. We'll discuss and we'll discuss and share each other's analysis. Make sure you guys do drop a like on the stream. Make sure you subscribe to me as well. But anyway, so yeah, I just hopped into an 80 CAD position. Um, Hopped into an 80 CAD trade. This is one of the positions that I was looking coming into the week, and the trade that I was actually talking about on my stream, which ended a couple of hours ago. Looking to short 80 CAD. We've had a really nice downwards trend, really nice downwards trend, waiting for a good confirmation candle, which just happened before I came onto the stream. And yeah, we've got a really nice confirmation candle. You can see the consistent low highs the market has been printing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm looking at the eighth. And we're looking just to continue this downtrend. We're looking to continue the downtrend. 80 CAD, 80 USD, very bearish on both those pairs. 80 USD hasn't quite retraced as much as I wanted to, or hasn't yet. It still potentially could come up again. But 80 CAD's pick of the bunch for me. Hopped into this one just now, and also I'm still holding on to USDCAD, which is it's taking a bit of a dive on me. Dollar has seen some weakness, I believe. Yeah, dollar seen some weakness. Still looking at this as a retracement of what we've seen. DXY has been it's been very consistent, but it has been placing nice higher highs and higher lows. And we're just looking for that to continue around 105, 100. That's what I'm looking for the bounce from. So hopefully we can bounce from here and just about save my USDCHF trade from coming back into break even. So we'll have to see. There is this support level I'm keeping an eye on, which could save price from pushing back down into my entry. But if we could do something like this, I'm not looking to add more positions on. I don't like the fact that we failed to create a new high there. So for me, I'm just going to let price do its thing and see how price continues. Hello, Hyped Full FX. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing good. Danny Trainer, what is up? Hope you're doing good. Welcome to the stream as well. Any pairs you guys are looking at, feel free to leave it down in the old chat. What's up, Althaf? Hope I'm saying that correctly. What's up? Been waiting for you. Nice. Been waiting for you too. Big up. Euro USD backwards. We'll take a look. Pound USD, gold. Okay, we'll go through some dollar pairs too. And yeah, any pairs you guys are looking at, just leave it down in the chat. So yeah, we'll go through some dollar pairs because dollar pairs are kind of still my main focus, specifically pound USD, and specifically AUD/USD. I'm still looking to short both of these guys. Pound USD is actually coming into the level, which is what I was looking at. I'm not the biggest fan of the retracement. The retracement is a bit weird. We have this really nice impulsive move. Market was quite corrective, consolidating, and now we're seeing quite impulsive, heavier back up. So I want to see how we reject this level for pound USD. If you start breaking above, I do have a secondary level which I'm looking at, which is this level here at 1.2000, pretty much on the dot. So I've got two kind of areas that that my focus is focused on. Doesn't make sense. That my focus is on, which is 1.193 and also 1.2. So I'm going to see how price reacts with these levels, especially on the hourly chart. Right now, everything is still quite bullish. We did see a slight kind of small body candle there, which is not really giving us too information. It does show the market is slowing down, but we'll have to see how this next hourly candle closes, which is really testing the level. So in terms of bias for pound USD, it's definitely short, seeing consistent low lows and low highs. We've had some equal highs up here, giving us that big double top. We had this huge consolidation, and since price has broken out that consolidation, we've had this quite corrective but prominent downtrend here with very consistent lower highs in the market. So I'm still looking to short pound USD, but still seeing really good momentum in this one. Really nice impulse move back down. I'm looking to see if we can catch the lower high either at this level or this level. So just going to wait for some entry signals to prompt me to enter, of course, and then looking continuation back down to these lows. And I do have some targets around 1.16 I'll keep an eye on for pound USD because there are some extended targets using the higher time frames of a target we could be heading towards maybe within a couple of weeks or so. But yeah, still pretty bearish for pound USD. AUSD as well, looking at some more downside for this one. Like I said, the retest of that consolidation. Still quite far away for the retest though, so it's probably one for next week. Maybe NFP could push us into that level, or maybe NFP actually just dumps us again, and then we actually don't get the retest. We'll have to see. But anyway, we're still pretty far. So with AUSD, the best thing to do is just set alerts, around this area and wait for price to come to you. If we start messing around here, consolidating, I'll just leave AUSD alone. Not really interested in this area, only from 0.67. Retest that consolidation. I'll be more than happy to look for some shorts. I'll take a look at EURUSD as well. So EURUSD and gold will take a look. Pound yen will take a look as well. No problemo. So EURUSD bearish bias as well. I'm not the biggest fan of EURUSD. I don't really like how it's moving. We're seeing some really nice low lows and low highs, but we've seen corrective moves here. And this impulse move was good. It was good, but never really pushed through these lows, which is what I don't like. The market kind of bottomed out at this support. If we broke through these lows aggressively, like we did with pound USD, where is pound? That's my watch list. There we go. So like we do with pound USD, broke these lows very, very aggressively with a huge, huge 4H candle. That's what I want to see for my breakouts. That's what I want to see for my breakouts where Euro USD was kind of half-hearted. We pushed to the downside, really aggressively, but all the market's doing is just respecting that same support level. So I'm not really too interested in Euro USD. I did highlight a couple levels where Euro USD might reject, which is this support level potentially, and there's a brief one here on the hourly chart. As you can see here, big push to the upside, and that's what kind of momentum came in and broke through. So 1.057 and also 1.062 are not bad levels to short from. I'm just not a big fan of Euro USD, so it's quite corrective structure here. So is pound USD, but at least we've got that sharp breakout to the downside, which is something that I would want to follow. Euro USD is a bit So yeah, still bearish bias, but I'm just not seeing as good as a setup to actually trade it and start looking for entries. But since the market's creating low lows and low highs, I do favor more downside. So keep an eye on those two levels. But like I said, I'm not a big fan. We'll go over to gold. So yeah, gold's seen some strong upside. So I'm actually just going to be leaving gold alone right now. I was favoring some shorts for gold earlier on today. If we can successfully retest this level, potentially still could. The market didn't close above the level. This is current hourly candle, which has still got 45 minutes left to close. So it could still possibly pull back and reject the level. But yeah, for me, gold is starting to get a little bit choppy. I'm not liking the fact that we're seeing strong momentum up. I want gold to correctively move to the upside. The fact that we're seeing impulse up is not a good sign for gold shorts. Yes, the market has been trending downside quite well. Kind of had a bit of a fake out here, above these highs coming to the end of last week, coming into this week. And then we had this really nice impulsive drop, which looked good for some shorts after the move, looking for the correct move to sell. But the fact that gold's had this big impulse up is not a good sign. It's not a good sign for sellers, and it's generally not a good sign for buyers either. It's just kind of getting a little bit messy right now. So keep an eye on gold because this possibly could be just a fake move, grab liquidity above the highs. There will be some people selling around this level here, maybe a bit too early. So if you can get a good shift of momentum back to the bear, it's not looking too good to buy or sell. So yeah, that's kind of my outlook on gold. We'll take a look at pound yen. So yeah, we'll take a look at pound yen. AUD just took a short position. AUD, yes, I did as well. I hopped into a short and AUD as well, retesting that structure there. Really nice support and resistance. Almost came into the trend line, came to the 50 of the fib as well, as you can see. So it has some really nice confluence. And again, it's a really, really healthy bearish trend, which the market has been displaying since the end of Jan. Really nice low lows, lower highs. So I'm basically just looking for this to continue. I've got a target around here. My first TP is that level where I'll probably secure around 25% and go break even. And yeah, and just let the trade play out. If it comes back and stops me out, it stops me out. If it can come to these lows, fantastic. But yeah, AUD very, very bearish on this one. Consistent lower lows and lower highs. It's pulled back to a really nice level. I like the pullback as well. It's nice and corrective and testing a good level, obviously on the hourly. Really nice shift in momentum, really nice entry candle there with stop loss just a few pips above the high for some wiggle room. So we'll see how this trade plays out. I'm also in USDCHF as well. This one was looking good, but it's had a quite substantial rejection at the high. So we're going to see how this one plays out as well. My stop loss is at break even. So hopefully you can find some momentum from somewhere. Maybe this one's waiting for NFP tomorrow to do its thing, whether it's going to collapse or start pumping again. Yeah, just going to have to see how that one plays out. That one plays out. But yeah, AUD looks really please CAD Swiss. Okay, we'll take a look too. Okay, are we good? Yeah, I thought the stream just blacked out for a second. I'm gonna keep talking. Keep talking. There's always nothing wrong with keep talking. So yeah, AUD CAD. Look at sales there. We'll take a look at USD and pound gem. So we'll go for a couple of JPY pairs, and then we'll go over to euro pound as well. So USD still pretty bullish on this one. Market structure still swinging to the upside, high highs and high lows. A retest of the structure, we did actually get a good entry candle at the end of my stream on that bullish engulfing. Obviously, it was before the news, so I did warn people saying if you do buy this, there's a chance you get wicked out, and potentially some people may have got wicked out. To be fair, so that's why it's always good to wait after news to enter. It's just a little bit safer. So if you get another bullish engulfing coming back in, that could be another entry signal because the market right now is still holding the same area. Has some good confluence here with okay, so yeah, for the stream back out again. Okay, just keep focus on the stream, Miko. Okay, anyway, so yeah, I thought so yeah, USDPY was looking good before the news. A bit of wick action from the news as expected. However, if we can get a good confident candle closure back again, especially above these wicks here, that will make up for a really, really nice trade. That will make up for a really nice trade. Stop loss below that, and targets. I would say back to these highs are sensible. Reason being, this was our prior high in the market. And then obviously, if you look to push it a little bit further, you've got the highs up here and so on and so forth. But yeah, USDPY is at a good area. It's at a good area where the buyers could look to step back in. You can see here we had all this consolidation, big pump to the upside. Now we're retesting that consolidation. So always a good area to look to go long from. But yeah, you do want to see price showing some signs of momentum back again. And if you can get a good confident bullish candle closure above those wicks, that would be a really, really nice entry signal. Right now, price is just throwing wicks up and down. So all we have is consolidation. But if you can see the momentum come back in, I do think that'll be a good little trade to take. And I'm still pretty bullish on the dollar. Still expecting more upside in the DXY. It's coming back into some nice resistance turn support. So if we can hold this area, I do think we can favor another bounce. And hopefully that could help out USDPY buys as well. So still expecting more upside from that front. Pound Yen is an interesting one. I was looking at this one coming into the week. I actually missed my buy trade on the retest of that structure there. But it has broken through the trend line here. It's kind of messing around with that support. So I'm still looking for buys because we haven't actually broken through the structure yet. But I wanted to break back above this level at 163. So if it can break back above this level, that would interest me for some buys. And then naturally looking for a push back to the highs there around 166. That will make a lot of sense. So yeah, pound yen, we haven't broken for any kilos yet. This low is still intact. So if it does break through that, then I'll completely invalidate my bullish bias and then we'll probably start looking for some sales back down again. But at the moment, we're still respecting structure. I'm actually trading above pretty key level of support as well. So we're going to see how price continues because there is a lot of friction here. There is a lot of resistance. Price has to break through if it wants to see that bullish move. If it does that, it breaks back above 163. I'll be more than happy to look to long that on the retest. And naturally, like I said, targets back to highs, back to where we came from. But yeah, if it starts breaking structure, breaks through that level, breaks through this low here as well, then that could be game over for pound yen, and we could be looking to short this thing back down. So that's kind of my outlook for pound yen. So just staying patient, not really looking to try to do anything in this area here anymore. Just going to see if we can break above here or break through the lows, and then that'll paint the picture very, very clearly for pound yen for myself. And shorts targets, you can just look at these lows as we go down. Yeah, this high there, time resistance, time support could be a decent target to have. Let me just map it out for some sales. So yeah, pound yen just waiting for something to happen, break above the highs, break below the lows. Doesn't really matter. We're still looking for a good potential trade opportunity, which at the moment I'm not quite seeing. So we'll have to stay patient for that. Okay, so we'll take a look at euro pound. So euro pound was actually looking pretty good for some buys coming into the week. Pretty good for some buys after breaking through the resistance here. But we failed to see a shift in momentum, failed to see an entry candle here. The market kind of just broke through, kind of lacklusterly. So I was pointing out this level here to people on my stream earlier today, saying euro pound looks really good for some buys. I had the breakout of this descending channel here. Let's clone that real quick. So we had the breakout of this descending channel. Market saw some new highs. Really nice impulsive moves to the upside. So it's a good sign from a bullish standpoint. And yeah, just simply looking for the retest of that structure to go long. But yeah, never got the entry candle, never got the shift of momentum. There was some nice wicks, yes, but we never saw that shift from the sellers into the buyers for a good entry confirmation. So nothing really there for pound yen. Keep saying pound yen. Nothing there for euro pound. Naturally, the targets would have been back to these highs and back to those highs, afterwards. But now that we're breaking back below, I'll just leave euro pound alone because now I've seen some impulsive moves back down, breaking underneath the level. Euro pound just turning into one big mess here, and this can kind of be seen as a larger consolidation. So, in terms of looking to map out key swing highs and key swing lows, it's not really such a clear structure, such a clear market to do that. And you probably want to be waiting for some more development before looking to pinpoint a clear bias again and start looking for opportunities to trade that bias. So unless euro pound recovers above this, aggressively, then yeah, there might be a buy trade back on because this could just be a slight kind of fake underneath the level. So a buy opportunity could be coming back on, but if we stay underneath that level, I'll disregard euro pound altogether and just wait for that price action to develop further down the road because it's not looking too good at the moment. Hope that made sense. CAD seat chef will take a look. No problem. USDCAD will take a look as well. Euro JPY. Your JPY will take a look too. No problem. You're good. Your stream's still live. Good. Yeah, because I'm having these weird pauses where I think the stream is cut. So I'll be talking to myself. But yeah, the stream's still good. Okay, so I'll go through a couple more pairs. Okay, so which pair did I say I'll do? CAD Swiss. Okay, so CAD Swiss, big dump to the downside, back to the lows. So yeah, someone was talking about CAD CHF on my stream as well, and I said I wasn't really much of a fan. Is that support? Yes, but that's about it. That's going for it right now. This is a large consolidation, and yeah, I'm anti-consolidation, at least for trading anyway. So I don't really look to do anything within this structure. Sure, you can buy low, it's that support. Naturally you look to buy from support. But in my trading, I look for a lot more confluence than that. So although yes, we're at support, we might see a pop to the upside. There's some structure here. We might go and retest. But yeah, I'm just not a fan at all. There's nothing other than that support. And the fact is as well, we're actually in a very bearish market too. So if we were in a range and I had to pick one and I had to trade it for some reason, then I would actually prefer to sell high and sell at the resistance than rather buy at the support, because at least I'm in the direction of momentum and direction of the trend, and even the higher time frame trend. This is the daily chart as well. So yeah, I'd rather be looking to sell the high of the range rather than buy at the low, because now you're just trying to buy against all of this. You're buying against all of this, which doesn't make much sense. It could work shortly, but there will be better trades out there. Just have to stay patient for them to materialize. But anyway, so keep an eye on 0.67800 if you're really looking to trade it. But if I was you, I'll be waiting to spot some better trending markets. If we can break through for CAD CHF, then yeah, there might be some nice follow-up trades to the downside. So that could interest me, but we're still a long way from that. Still a long way away from that. So yeah, need to stay patient. Take a look at Euro Yen as well. So yeah, Euro Yen, I was talking about this one on my stream as well. I pinpointed out this level for some buys. Didn't quite make it there. We did kind of spill over, taking out some of these minor higher lows. I was talking about a retest of this level here. We might get a nice pop to the upside. I don't like the fact that we have made these equal highs here. We create the high once and then retested it twice. So kind of got a bit of a triple top there, which is not a healthy sign of a trending market. You want to see the market creating higher highs and higher lows and breaking stuff impulsively. The fact that we have strong rejection of these highs is not a healthy market. So yeah, with Euro Yen, buys around 143,500 still look good because the market hasn't tested yet. We might still roll over and test that level. It's still a strong level of resistance and support. But I wouldn't hold that trade for too long. The fact that we create these equal highs tells me that, okay, I probably want to take my profit at this level here because there's a good chance that the market could look to start rolling over. If I'm lucky, I might get a break of that and a push to that resistance. Then I'll definitely secure how much I've got left up at that resistance. So that could be a good TP1 around 144, 300, and that could be a very good TP2 just to take your profit and move on to the next position. But yeah, it's for Euro Yen, definitely bullish bias because the market's still creating higher highs and higher lows. We haven't taken out any important structure. As you can see, low, high, low, high, low, and obviously new highs up there. So I still do favor buys, and coming back to that level, it still does look good. But the fact that we're making those equal highs tells me that, okay, I'll probably want to take a profit here or just exit the whole thing around 150, around 145, 400. So yeah, that's kind of my bias going into Euro Yen. But yeah, most of the JPY pairs are still creating higher highs and higher lows, apart from, I mean, this one too, if you kind of consider that the higher low, although we are breaking out that consolidation quite aggressively. So CAD Yen might actually want to sell off potentially a little bit. But yeah, the yen pairs are interesting. Some of them are still creating higher highs and higher lows. We do have a Bank of Japan interest rate decision for the yen pairs. So that'll be interesting overnight. If any of you are trading the yen pairs, do watch out. But yeah, for me, I'm going to be sticking with USDCAD, see how that goes. Like I said, we've got NFP tomorrow, so I'll just be just watching to see what happens with that one. To be fair, it could be a good day or okay one. And yeah, AUD-CAD, we'll see what happens with this one too. NFP probably will affect AUD-CAD too as well. NFP normally just does the whole shebang. So we'll see how this one goes. Just enter this one on the last hourly candle. But yeah, that's probably me done for the week there. We'll see how this goes, and I'll just monitor USDCHF. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for having me on the stream. Anyone trading? I'm pretty sure they left the link to my stream or my channel in the chat. So go check it out if you haven't done it already, guys. But yeah, thank you so much for having me on the stream, and we'll pass it over to Marko.
Hello guys, so how's it going? Welcome to my part of the stream. So I'm gonna share TradingView right now. Just give me 1 second. Share screen. As always, I will do my 6 pairs, then all of the questions and the pairs you want me to analyze, just put them in the chat. So I did take a EJ short on the last stream I was on, basically here. I believe it was right around here. Was that Thursday? Yes, this was the live trade that I took on the last stream. I did have an order on here, pending order. Basically what I was seeing, just a quick summary. Well, I was seeing a large leg down, so I know lots of stops above this leg. Why? Well, because when the retail traders see huge red candles, they usually keep selling, 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 selling. So where do they keep their stops? Well, they keep their stops above the high, which would be in this area right here. So this area is full of liquidity. One thing that we want to do, we want to follow what the market makers are doing, not what the retail is doing, because the retail loses most of the time. Market makers move the markets, so we want to be following them. Basically, what then happened, well, we ascended and just broke into the liquidity area, stopping people out. So this was a definite stop hunt right here. Just barely broke into it and then reversed with some really strong momentum. So what do I mean by strong momentum? Size of the candle is much bigger than all of the blue candles. So basically momentum shifted to the downside, pulled back a bit, and then continued with the strong downtrend momentum. Basically, now we had two large impulses down, and I was really happy to place a pending order at the inside bar, which is what I usually use if there is one. What is an inside bar? An inside bar is a bar that is inside of the prior candle. So the high is lower than this high, the low is higher than this low. Basically, it's inside. Why do I use it? Well, it's usually like a magnet, and it just attracts the price. Price just taps it and then usually reverses. So it's a great refinement and a great tool to take entries from. And basically, the next candle I was in, then got into some profit, but I'm using a fixed trailing stop loss rule. When we broke the low, I reduced my risk and it was still in a little bit of a loss. And then I got taken out for, I believe, 0.3 or 0.4% loss. So at first I had a full 1% on the trade, then I got taken out for a reduced risk. So yeah, it was a good trade. I would take it again, fit my plan. So just wanted to follow up on that one. Now we'll start with our usual analysis. EU is ascending, but it's not looking like a clean ascending. So I'm interested in clean price action. I'm not yet interested in just ascending or descending structures. So what do I mean by clean price action? Well, to me, this would be a clean ascending. Why is this not a clean ascending? Well, we do have this huge wick up, huge wick down, so large news candle, then just range, broke the high, retrace, then we broke the low, retrace, broke the high again, retrace. So I want this to clean up a bit, and tomorrow is NFP, so I would be interested in this sort of setup in the next week. Basically, NFP, I'm not trading. Why? Well, because it's very volatile. Usually your stop loss gets hit. Usually what happens is this sort of move. We go up and then we go down and up, or we go up then down. So basically all of the traders get stopped out. For me, I would much rather sit on the sidelines for that day, take a bit of a rest, and then go into trading the next week with a clear head. And of course, with NFP potentially moving the market, because news moves the market, and then we get on those moves. That is, without any news, trading would be very boring, and I don't think we could have made as much money as we can with all of these major news events pushing the markets. Because we like volatility, we don't like stagnant markets. What I will be looking for is more of an ascending in the next week, then a reversal down, and then of course to sell. This is a nice pattern to sell. Why? Well, because in this ascending structure, in each of these legs, the retail potentially keeps selling all the way to the upside, and they get stopped out each time. So the market makers then make a move down, which I then try to follow. I try to sell when the market makers have sold, and then make some profit that way. If we just descend from here, then I'm not interested, because I'm a trend trader, not a range bound trader. What I'm looking for also is, well, we can also get an impulse down, in which case I will look to sell, or we can get an impulse up. Classic stuff, I will then look to buy. So let's see in the next week. I don't believe today I will get a setup, so I'm trading until 8 a.m. London Open tomorrow. That's my cutoff time for the NFP. Okay, EJ is descending, but again, not a clean pattern. So after the descending structure, I do expect price to go up. But to be honest, it's not really a clean pattern. So basically what I'm seeing is break of the low, retrace, then break of the low, retrace again, then breaks the high, retraces, Then right here breaks the low, retraces, breaks the low, retraces, then breaks the high, retraces. So yeah, I just want to see a better defined descending, which would look something like this. So clean moves to the downside. So we shall see what will happen. Right now, I'm being more patient with this pair. So basically, I'm looking for an ascending structure from here because I'm just seeing like potentially a larger range starting to form. To take a trade, I would need to see a large impulse up or a large impulse down. So I think we can move on. I mean, there was one opportunity which I can run through here to buy. Basically, we had this impulse up and we had a flag formation. So this is an example of an entry pattern I use. Flag formation, first high, first low, second high, second low, and I buy on the first blue candle when it forms, or if I'm selling, I sell on the first red candle after the flag forms. So I use two entry patterns, basically a flag or a break and day retest. This was a break and day retest. It broke the low and then retested this low level, basically. The next candle retested this level. So I use only two entry patterns. And then I think other than that, there were no setups. Yeah, so no other setups on EJ. AU, well, for AU, it's range bound. So for AU, I'm just not seeing any potential right here. I'm just seeing descending into an ascending, into another descending, into another ascending structure. So range bound price action. What I'm looking to see, so sometimes what we can get is impulse down, and then we kind of range around, and then we potentially continue to the downside, and then I would look to sell on a nice move down. So if I get evidence of a move down, if I get a large impulse down, in that case I will look to sell. If I don't get anything, then I'm not looking to sell, of course. Or we can also get an impulse up. We never know what will happen. If we get an impulse up, I will look to buy. So for this one, I'm just being more patient. And I saw absolutely no potential entries anywhere here. And even on this move, unfortunately, at the bottom of the move, we definitely saw a slowdown. So we got a pause here, then price continued, pause again, continued, and then retraced again. So basically, we got a small descending channel on the bottom of the structure. Okay, so we can move on, and I'll just look at some of the questions if there are any. Okay, EURUSD, sure. So we already went through EU. EuroCAD will do EuroCAD. Do you trade the news or you wait until it's over? Okay, so for the news, I don't trade, only NFP. So on NFP, I just don't trade. Every other news I trade through. So I don't even look at news. I only know when is NFP. Other news I don't care about. Why? Well, because when I'm backtesting, I don't look at news in my backtesting. So why would I look at news in my live trading? And news can usually push the markets and give me some really nice opportunities. I have had many examples where a news event actually pushed my trade in one direction and made me some really nice profits. So yeah, news events I don't even look at. I just trade straight through them. But NFP I do pay attention to, and I don't trade during NFP. I also saw that someone wants to see the pound. Of course, we will go to the pound. So I have my 6 live trading pairs: EU, EJ, AU, AJ, pound, NJ. So the pound is coming up. Don't worry about that. But first we have AJ. AJ is descending. So there was an entry opportunity here on a flag. Basically, this was a tighter flag, kind of like a free bar flag. Basically, those do work out most of the time. And then you could have sold on this red candle after the flag formed. For me, I just didn't want to take it because the entry was really close to the low. So no, and also there was no space to reduce risk because the stop loss was engulfed by the candle. Now that's really technical, but yeah, it was a borderline flag. So if anyone managed to take this, it was a good setup, but for me, just didn't fit my plan. And after it, yeah, we just got a descending, then we ascended, then descended again, and we are now currently in a more defined descending. So we are breaking only the lows and retracing. After seeing something like this, I do expect a potential reversal up. So I do expect something like this to happen. We will see. If it happens, I will of course look to buy in these legs. So if you get an uptrend, I'll look to buy. And why is that different than if price goes down? Well, if price does go up, I know any sort of setup that happens here is more high probability than if price goes down. Why? Well, because after descending, I'm expecting the price to go up. So that means I can tolerate some warning signs, I would say. And if price decides to impulse down, so if it decides to give me something like this and gives me a warning sign, well, I need to be more patient because this is not really something that happens after a descending structure on this pair. So I know it's kind of even a warning sign. Even the impulse down is a warning sign and not that likely to continue. So it's all about the prior price action. If the prior price action is right, such as in this case, there is a descending channel and it's good, it looks clean, it looks clear, well, then, as I said, any setup that happens on the buy side, I know I can be a bit more lenient with because I'm expecting the price to go up because again of the prior price action. So for me, the prior price action is actually much more important than the impulse or the entry pattern, like for example this flag or this impulse or this flag. What is important is the prior price action, and in this case for this setup, so for this sell setup, for me prior price action was not that good. I mean, so we just had this descending and then one candle down and then price continued. So you could make a case for an established trend. You could make a case for a large red candle, then another large red candle. But again, prior price action prior to that is not really showing me much potential. So that is also one of the reasons I did not take a sell here. It would have been a winner, but again, it's all about the probabilities. Does it work on a large sample size? What does a large sample size mean? It means, does it work on 100 trades? So if you take 100 trades that look like this, that have a similar prior price action, how much of them win, how much of them lose, and how big are the winners? Statistics. So that you can collect in backtesting. So moving on to the pound. Pound looks good. It's starting to impulse up. I want to see it continue. So we did have this large impulse down, after which unfortunately we slowed down with momentum. So I was not looking to sell because we got a descending channel and then we just started ranging around in a flat range. But now I'm seeing a bit of potential. So I'm seeing basically, well, we broke retrace, but in this leg, I'm starting to see some potential to go up. So if we get like a break and retest setup, something like this, I will look to buy. I know those are extremely high probability on this particular pair. Breaks and retests work really, really good on the pound, and I will be very interested to get in on a nice break and retest. If this gives me a flag straight from here, I'm not really interested. I would like to see a bit more momentum. I would like to see a bit more blue candles to actually look for a flag formation, so something like this. Of course, price can reverse. So if it does reverse, then I expect a range and I expect to push down. Why do I expect something like this? Well, through my backtesting, I have found the common pattern that happens on the 1 hour chart on most pairs after we get a push up and then we get a push down with same sort of momentum. Usually we get a couple of candles ranging and then usually price continues trending to the downside. So how can you exploit that edge? Well, you can get in on a potential sell here or potentially here or potentially even further down. So basically, just get in on these opportunities. So sell here, here, here. That is how you can exploit certain patterns. You spot a pattern, you see what happens after the pattern, you see if you can get in on an entry pattern, and you see how big the winners are, how many of the winners are there, and so what's the win rate, and do the maths. Is it worth taking on the larger sample size? Okay, so that's done with the pound. My last live trading pair, which is NJ, New Zealand Japanese yen. It's looking range bound, but it's looking descending, but it's not really such a clean descending. So we got sort of a descending here, then it ascended, then descended again. I think it made sort of a breakup of structure here when it broke the low, then it broke the high, then broke the low again. So I do expect this to reverse up because it is descending, but again, I want to see it clean up a bit, then I may potentially get in on a straight reversal. What is a straight reversal? It's something like this, and then you get in on this break and retest, or on a flag right here on this retest of the high, or as I said, get in on a flag formation. Otherwise, I'm looking for an impulse up from here. I'm looking for something like this. And again, anything that happens in this uptrend, any sort of an entry pattern that happens in an uptrend here is high probability to continue, because behind it we have good prior price action, which is telling me price is gonna eventually start trending up. So if we get an impulse up, I'm very, very keen on looking to buy. That's not the rule. In the markets, anything can happen. So no one knows if the market will go up or if the market will go down. We only know, let's say, 70% of the time after you see this pattern, market goes up. Or 30% of the time after you see this pattern, market goes down or ranges. So you can only know the probabilities and the statistics, but no one knows for sure if the markets will go up or if they will go down. So yeah, markets can go down. If they do, I will look to sell. But as I said previously, any sort of a sell pattern that happens here is not as high probability as a pattern that goes up. So that's about it for NJ. We can now go on with the questions. So let me open up the chat, or any pairs you guys want me to take a look at. Okay, so yeah, the pound we went through. Andreas, so Marko, have you noticed any specific characteristics in the 6 pairs that you trade? Oh, for sure. I have tons of characteristics, tons of patterns. So certain patterns work on certain pairs. Certain patterns don't work on certain pairs. So you gotta know which are the best, highest probability patterns for your particular pair. Let me give you an example. For the pound, the highest probability pattern, what I have found from a backtesting, is a break and retest from a large impulse. For, let's say, the Aussie US dollar, the highest probability pattern is when you get a range, then it descends into a liquidity area, and then you get in on an uptrend. So you get in somewhere here. Any sort of setup that forms in this uptrend is gonna, like 80% of the time, is gonna continue up. Or let's say for the Euro Japanese yen, I know that if we get a descending channel and then a smaller descending inside of this larger descending channel reversal, and then a retest of the high, and there, even if there is an inside bar here, it's a very, very high probability setup to continue to the upside. A really, really high probability setup. So it's different for every pair. It's definitely different. You learn it through backtesting, but once you know it, once you have the confidence because you have seen it in backtesting and in live trading that it actually works, then you just keep taking the same sort of patterns on same sort of pairs, and it's rinse and repeat. That's how traders make money. It's boring, so it's not really fun once you have researched all of these setups. But again, it's always fun to make money. So that's the fun part, I guess. It's actually proving that your research is right. Okay, GU 1 hour bearish candle. So I'm gonna go back to GU. So right now it's forming a red candle, not a good sign. So for my theory, what I wanted to see is I wanted to see it continue. Give me a couple more blue candles. Right now, this is not looking good. It's showing me a rejection, double wicks, and I mean large double wicks. These are definitely large, and a rejection candle. So right now, I'm just not touching it. So if this closes like it shows here, I just expect more of an ascending and then a potential reversal to a downside. But once again, I don't think any sort of an entry pattern will happen until 8 a.m. London time. So probably the next week I'll look to see if this ascends and then reverses. So that also usually happens. We get a large push down, and this is definitely a large push down. Then we get sort of a pullback like this is, and then it continues with this red high momentum, and we can get in here. So that's also what happens. Markets have trending phases, then they pause a bit, then they continue trending. So the trends do have pullbacks. The trends do not go on forever, and it's just normal market characteristics. Okay, so I think we can do gold, because I do know that most of you guys trade gold. To be honest, gold, so the strategy I trade does not really work on gold. It's just how things are. I have tested it a bit and I have seen other people testing it, so it usually does not really work. Oh, it looks like it worked here. So there was a flag here. Basically, this is a flag, and then you get in on the first blue candle, let's say 15 pips or even more. But yeah, it would have made some okay profits here, nothing much, but it would have been a winner. But right here, I'm seeing a nice push up. So why is this a nice push up? Well, because nice consecutive blue candles, clean closes on the candles. So the wick is not that big, which I really like. So if there is no wick or a really small wick, that's a good sign. Price will continue up. Something to backtest, of course. So what you can do, go and backtest what happens when you see a large candle that closes with a clean close. Does the price usually continue, or does the price usually retrace? Get the percentages. What percentage is that the price will continue trending up? So gold, I would be looking to buy if this is now closing very bad. It's printing a huge wick, but if we manage to continue up, I would look to buy on the 1 hour chart. So yeah, US 30. Sure, we can do US 30. US 30. So currency.com. Okay, so this is not looking that bad. I mean, on the 1 hour chart, we did have this nice uptrend. Clean uptrend, I have to say, some clean candles here. So then it ended, then we ranged around, and then we got a large impulse down. I mean, this is really strong. Just look at the candles again, and this is what I mean by clean closes. Look, almost no wick, continues. Almost no wick, continues. Almost no wick, and looks like it eventually continued. So this move by itself is very strong. Definitely looked very good. Then we got this sort of a breakup of structure, and now just ranging around a bit. So right now this looks range bound in this general area, and I wouldn't touch it. I would wait for it to break out either to the upside or to the downside with a nice large impulse. I would look for another large impulse like this one. That is what I would look for example, like this. And one thing I do know, this may just be a pause before the price continues dropping down. So this may just be a pullback after this nice large move, and then price continues down. So anything can happen, but I do believe this may continue down, and looks like the market will close soon, or that my candle will soon close. So I do monitor the charts on top of each hour. So let's quickly run through all of the 6 pairs once again. Let's see what's happening. So EU ascending but not clean. I'm not really looking at it that much. EJ broke the low, retraced, now it broke the high, retraced, printed huge double wicks. So yeah, really bad sign. I'm not seeing a strong close. AU, range bound, really range bound. AJ, descending, I'm expecting it to reverse up, but still no evidence. I need to see evidence. I need to see a large impulse up. Otherwise, this may just go descending for another 4 weeks. You never know. That is why I always wait for evidence. The pound looks to be rejecting, unfortunately, so this is not continuing up, and it is now printing double wicks. So we will see exactly how this closes, but right now not promising. NJ, descending, but stuck in this low and high. So yeah, basically nothing really there. Okay, Nasdaq. Never done Nasdaq. We will see how it looks like. I never even viewed it. Basically for me, range here, but I like this push. I do see momentum in these two blue candles, clean closes. So if this continues, I would look to buy. If this continues, I would look to buy either on a nice flag or on a nice break and day retest. So guys, that's about it. We have run out of time. Thank you A1 Trading for the opportunity to a live stream. I will the next week. Tomorrow I would advise not trading NFP. I mean, if you have backtested your edge, if you love trading NFP, if you made money in backtesting trading NFP, then sure, then it fits your plan. But if you don't know anything about NFP and you're trading live, then I would not open new positions. I would just monitor my old positions and just keep it safe, because NFP can, as I said, first stop you out if you're selling and then stop you out if you're buying. So basically just a stop hunt all over the place. That's it. See you guys in the next one.
Thanks again for watching today's show. Our goal at A1 Trading is to continue to share free value to our audience through daily videos and articles, keeping you up to date with the latest market coverage. If you enjoy our content, make sure to subscribe for more. And if you're looking to get funded, check out Superfunded's examination today and get 10% off when you use the code A1 Trading. Click the link in the description below to find out